So there are a lot of success stories in nuclear energy. Let me start with the one that may very well shock you, and that would be Fukushima. How is Fukushima a success story? The reason why is that the safety features worked. It had a containment. It was designed such that the worst that could possibly happen is that nobody gets hurt. Think about that. You have an industrial facility designed so safe that even if the worst thing that could possibly happen is nobody gets hurt, that would be amazing. You should be rejoicing. You should be going, wow, how can we design such a fantastic piece of technology? That's what the Western designs that we're using today do. It had a containment that allowed all of the radioactivity to be contained with only a negligible amount coming out. Now, when I say negligible, that term is meant to be that it did not produce a sufficient dose to create a measurable medical effect in the people. That sounds pretty crazy, but it's true. The United Nations brought together an expert panel, like they did with climate change. They brought together an expert panel and looked at it and said the dose was too small to produce measurable medical effects in any of the Japanese population. Now, the World Health Organization, they did the same thing with the same conclusion. And all of the review papers, they've all realized that, yeah, there was not enough radioactivity to create a measurable medical effect. Now, the caveat is that the panicked evacuation, that did create a measurable effect. That actually killed a couple thousand people. And the follow-on problems that they're having are due to fear, stress. It's called radiophobia, where you're so afraid everything that goes wrong in your life, you attribute it to the radiation, right? So if you trip, you say, oh, it's the radiation. Or if you have a stomach ache, oh, it's the radiation. Or if you have a headache, or if you get any kind of a medical effect at all, a bad knee, I don't know, it doesn't matter what, you just attribute it to that. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This happened really badly in Chernobyl, to the point that the suicide rate due to people that were exposed to this radioactivity is now higher than the resultant death rate. It's about 2,000 people so far have already committed suicide, above the previous rate, due to this self-fulfilling prophecy of radiophobia, this belief that it's just this evil thing that's going to kill you and kill our children, and it's just a doom and gloom perspective. So that actually is a crazy success story, in that the safety features worked as designed to keep the radioactivity in. And the new reactors that we're coming out with are safer still, to the point where you can literally just walk away from it and it won't do a meltdown. Yeah, that's a real safety improvement in a big way. So it's strange to say that that was a success story insofar as we tested the safety features and they worked. Now, the same thing occurred at the waste isolation pilot plant. They had a worst case scenario. It's a geological repository for transuranic waste. The same story. The offsite radioactivity was comparable to what it was before they built the plant. I mean,